Oh, so you can actually see me too.
No, not yet. All I can see is your stuff. Okay, so let's see. Let's go here. Oops, let's go here. And
We don't want my face on there last time.
I know.
It's like, we don't want to scare
Oh, do you want to
away.
use these numbers though?
Okay.
Or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, we can just, if somebody wants something, they can just type those numbers in. Okay, so we're on Christy now. Oops, no, Christy. Oh, no. Okay, hang on a second, guys. It's always crazy when we're getting this hooked up. Okay. Exit solo. Okay, there you go. So we'd like to welcome you back to our demo frenzy on Friday. You know how it always goes. We really have no idea what we're doing. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants, and we get things ready as we're doing them because we are just us. We're not like Martha Stewart. We don't have like 80 people getting us ready for this. So we're going to be demoing. Several new rulers have come in, and oh, just so you know, so I'm not super rude, we've got Christy Lee here, which most of you know. And we have Doris behind the camera because Roger hasn't showed up to work yet today. And Connie is here for moral support on the other computer. So we're like really high tech here, even though it doesn't look like it. So if you have any questions, just type them in and let us know. And first off, we're going to start with the new. A lot of projects are calling for fussy cut templates. So Christy's going to show us the C&T Publishing Square 3-in-1 Simple Square Template Ruler. So this is great if you need to make squares. All right.
Well, it's really great also because especially with all the fun fabrics that are coming out now, they have all really cute little designs in them. And you may just want like a little, like you're doing 3.5-inch blocks, but you want just a piece of it. Like you want a little witch or you want a little pumpkin. They're clear acrylic rulers. I'll show you. I guess I can show you here. Am I on there?
Because
you're on.
They get both.
Here, I'm gonna make you big. Here. So if we make this one big, solo layout, they'll be able to really see her.
Okay. So this is a really great tool. It's a clear ruler, but as you can see, you can do 3.5-inch squares, 4.5-inch squares, and 5.5-inch squares. But when you place it down on the fabric, like say I wanted this really cute little tree, you can put the tree in the 3.5-inch square, or you can make a 4.5-inch square, and you can center your tree, and you can see exactly what you're cutting out. Versus if you have just like, some of the templates that are not clear. And then what you do is, let's just say let's say I wanted it like that for whatever reason. This is a 3.5-inch, and it also shows your 1/4-inch allowance there. Then you would just cut it there. And this is hard to cut, people, so because I'm at a really awkward angle, so I'm just gonna have to do the best I can do right here.
Wow, I've never seen anybody knot fabric quite like that.
Well,
just watch that. Prepare to be amazed. It's a great cut.
Yeah. And so what you would do is you would just rotate it. And so you would line that up, and then you would cut it.
Good morning, Carolyn and Victor and Beverly Ann and Peggy and Jenny. Welcome back.
And then you would rotate it, and you would line it up. Oops. Like I said, I'm not perfect because I'm not perfect right now. And then you would just rotate it, and you would have your perfect 3.5-inch square with whatever you wanted centered in the middle. Super easy, but the best thing about this is if you can get 3.5-inch,
Yes.
Oh, Carolyn says you need the mat that turns, and that is super true, Carolyn. And I actually have one upstairs where I do like my personal sewing. I have a turning mat upstairs at the shop, and then I also have one upstairs at my house where I sew. I use the turning mat, but we didn't think about that.
So the minions, we just get whatever's down here. Like I had to beg for a mat, everybody. So.
Yeah, and a cutting tool.
And a cutting tool.
And that mat was behind a table under the table behind the floor.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yes, it was.
Do you sell the rotating mats or no?
I do not know if we can order them for sure. If you need a rotating mat, we can order them and get one for you.
So if you have a rotating mat, yes, Carolyn, that would be lots easier. But the whole point of this is that not only are you getting your 3.5-inch square, but your 4.5 and your 5.5, and it's all the sizes in one tool, so you don't have to go around looking for your
Different tools.
Different tools. And this is 22. Wait, let me see. It's $22.
Hey, Nicole and Jane, how are you?
This is the actual tool. It gives you all the instructions on the back. It's super simple. It's really easy. Look, that's the instructions on the back.
Oh my gosh, this is when Roger would tell you to tilt it up a little bit.
There you go.
Why was it this way?
Yeah, you never know.
It's a little bit tough here today. So, anyways, is there any questions about this one? Did anybody have any? If you'd like to order it, Beth does have a couple left. It's S13, or do you want the number, or do you want the actual?
They can do the number. It's just they're leftover. The numbers are still on them from Wednesday's sale.
Okay.
So
you can just say S13 or simple square template for $22. I'm super excited about it because I've started doing a lot of like fussy cutting for English paper piecing.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. If you're doing any kind of fussy cutting, you're gonna want a ruler.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like that. I usually call them, Nicole, my stalkers. But Nicole says, morning members of the secret society of the crafting world of Beth.
We're the secret society now.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not sure I can do that.
Okay, I know. Okay, what's another demo? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you demos throughout the day today. So that is if you need to center, fussy cut your fabrics.
Yes.
Then we have the scrappy tape. So I don't know if most of you who are watching might already have the scrappy tape, but if not, and what I want, I don't know if this is possible to get you guys actually into your sewing rooms and sewing throughout the day as we demo. But this is a great opportunity. We're going to demo something. If you already have it, which a lot of you already have it because we tell you about it. It's so exciting. You buy it and then you get it. And then you're like, oh, I remember it was so amazing, but now I'm not so sure what to do with it. So go practice with it, see what it's about, and then come back with any questions you might have.
Okay. So this is scrappy tape, and this is actually what I demoed at Beth's Shop Hop, which was super fun. I got to do it for a lot of people, and it was amazing.
I'm kind of amazed that like the whole thing's not done since you were demoing all day, except for that I think she was demoing with the same piece of fabric.
I was. Well, that's where I had my sewing machine set up, and people were having a hard time seeing me sew. So I ended up putting the sewing machine away and just showing them the basic concept of how it works. And this is the one I did, and this is the two and a half.
2.5. Yeah.
And this is the 5-inch that Beth did. And you can see there's a big difference in the size. But the cool thing about it is it comes in 2.5, 5-inch, and a 13-inch. Okay. So scrappy tape, super simple.
And I'm just going to say, fabric is expensive. We all have leftovers. We all have scraps. There is no reason for you to just be collecting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my surroundings, but if you look, if we were just to hang on a second, see that behind Christy, that is like basically tables of scraps.
Yes.
Like I can't even tell you how I drown in scraps. So I love for you to buy new fabric, but I also love for you to use what you have. I'm a bit of a hoarder, but because everything has a purpose and when you're going to use it. So get your scraps out and let's see it. And somebody said they did it color order. They did the 13-inch scraps and the 13-inch scrappy tape. And they took all their scraps, put them in color. And then they did their blocks in color. And then they put it together like a rainbow. It was so beautiful. I wish I had taken a picture of it.
Yes, I wish you had to.
Me too. I know. Sometimes I'm really a slacker. Okay.
Okay. So the biggest question I got from people when I was demoing this is, why do you need this little piece of fabric? Why couldn't you just like sew them together? But that kind of takes away the point of it and the ease of it. Because what you do is, and I'm just going to use my little square here because, I don't have anything else here at Fabric Chicks.
Yeah, at Fabric Chicks, it's hard to come by a piece of fabric. Everything is so valuable. It's like the perfect piece of fabric I'm saving for something.
And all you do is you can lay it here, and you can lay it really whatever direction. And if you look at mine, see, mine are all going all different weird directions, but I like that. Or you can make them just go vertical. It's fine. You can do that too. But you just lay it down, and you would sew a 1/4-inch seam. You would flip it over, and then you need this tool or finger press, but this tool makes life so much easier. You roll out and flatten your seam, right? And the reason why you have to use this or finger press is you cannot get an iron near this stuff. But what makes it super easy is when you're done, you go like maybe 6, 8 inches, whatever you want to do. You flip it over. See how this one's longer? It's been sewed on and it's longer. You flip it over and you have like 8 inches done, and then you just rotary cut it or cut it with scissors, however you want to do it. And you have a perfect 2.5-inch strip.
So you're basically creating your own piece of fabric, and the stabilizer basically stabilizes it. So because you're going to have all kinds of weird cuts, so you don't want your fabric stretching, but it is a wash away stabilizer, so when you wash your project it will just be non-existent.
Right. And the other thing is I heard a lot of like, well, there's a new whatever using dryer sheets. Well, great, you can use dryer sheets or whatever, but you're not gonna, it's gonna be a pain to sew all that together. This is like ready for you to go, and when you're done you can literally,
And the dryer sheets aren't gonna
The
They're not
dryer
gonna wash
sheets
away.
will not wash away.
Right.
but
No.
I guess that's the big,
I guess it would be like sew-in interfacing.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not the same.
No.
It's not the same, and this is just made really easy for you to do. And I mean, I have people that I've talked to that have told me they do their scraps as they go. Like they'll be working on a quilt and they'll just keep their scraps, and when they're done for the day, they'll just sew this up really quick and then roll it up, and then they'll wait for their next.
Well, and Lynn said she was going to do the 2.5-inch and try it as binding with all of her leftover scraps. I don't think she has yet, but I don't see why it wouldn't work.
You've got a long ways to go for a binding though on a quilt, so it'll take a little while to get
Well,
Enough
200
yeah,
inches.
yeah,
200 inches
yeah.
of it done,
And then
but it'll match the
other
quilt
thing
nicely.
was, so here
Mhm.
with the 5-inch, you'll see it's bigger. Well, there's nothing preventing you. This is 5.5, right?
That's 5-inch.
5-inch. Okay. There's
So when you
nothing-
cut it in
you
half,
can
it would be
cut it
2.5.
in half. Like you don't
Right.
have to keep it in 5 inches.
Right.
Let's say like you're like, oh, I'm not going to use that 5-inch. You could cut it in half, and then the 13-inch. I actually watched a demo of a lady did it, and then she cut out squares and then she arranged them in different directions and
Right.
everything, and then made a quilt out of it.
Right. Perfect.
So
perfect.
There's so much you can do.
And
with
I'm
this.
just going to butt in right here because I'm really
Yeah.
good at butting in. So this 5.5, the 5-inch one, I started out super just sewing them straight. And then it was kind of boring. And so I started sewing them crooked just to give it some interest. You are going to have more waste if you sew it crooked, but it will give it a lot more fun diversity or whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
So, and this is like old, this was leftover quilt blocks from a quilt I made a long time ago. I just threw that in. This one here was binding from another quilt. So it's now like a flange. I just threw it into an experiment with it. And then here is, just so you can see the process, here's several of them that I've sewn together, and they still need to be cut.
Yeah, so if you turn it over, you can use a rotary cutter and go so fast and so easy. And like I've watched a lot of demos on it too, and people make them and they just roll them up for later use. Like they don't even use them right away.
Right.
So you could do that too. Like it's not like you have to have a project in mind.
No, but Carolina has done 2 patterns using the scrap tape. So this one is the, you can turn it facing you. This one is using the 2.5-inch strips, but you could use it with any of the strips. So I think I'm going to do the 13-inch one. I'm going to do with all the red, white, and blue stuff for the volunteers who help me with soldier quilts, because we have a ton of those scraps.
And the one thing about the wash away, because my family is big on the scrap crazy piece, it gets so heavy when it's on at foundation. When you put a full-size quilt together, the weight of that, you almost can't put a binding or a batting in them because it is so heavy.
Right.
And it inch by inch, the weight does make a difference. This is going to be nicer. And my brain went when I saw it. Okay, so
So Doris is excited about it.
because it'll lessen the weight. And
Absolutely.
it's easier, believe me, it's easier having that edge that doesn't stretch to manage and cut it even than the ones that stretch, because then you still end up squaring them off.
Right.
Again,
Right.
this way you're done in one round.
Absolutely, right?
Yes, for sure. So I love the scrappy tape. I'm excited to like use up all my scraps so that I can make room for new stuff and like, you know, not drown in all the scraps in my life.
Exciting. I think there's a lot you could actually do with it. I think you could make bags out of it. You can make tote bags out of it.
Right.
You could do, I mean, there's so much things you could do with it.
Because you're basically creating your own fabric.
Yeah.
You're sewing fabric together to create your own bigger pieces of fabric.
Okay, so let's go back to what we have. We have the Scrappiest Quilt by Carolina Moore, and it is $10.95 or
$10 for you guys. You know, I always take the cents
She
off.
always gives you the
Because
cents
then
off.
it's easier for me to add it in my head.
And then this is a really cool one she made out of the 2.5-inch scrap tape too, the Scrappy Heart Quilt, which is really cute. That would be a really cute Valentine's Day thing. And it's $10 too. And so those are just patterns she made to show what she did with the scrappy tape. I highly suggest you have one of these. It makes your life easier. It really does, rather than finger pressing. How much are these?
Oh gosh, I knew you would ask me something complicated.
Sorry.
$16.
They're $16, but super nice. So we have that. So if you want the roller, let us know you want the roller. And then the scrappy tape comes in 3 different sizes. We have the 2.5. Well, here's the 13, and it is $49. And then we have the 2.5, which I think is $24, isn't it?
I'm going to tell you right now.
She's going to tell me. We should have done this beforehand.
I know. We're just lucky to be here this early in the morning. On a Friday, it's our day off. Like, I should be like, I don't know, lounging by the pool, drinking a margarita already. $19 for the 2.5-inch.
Oh, that's a good price.
And $39 for the 5-inch.
That's the 5-inch. So if you're interested in those, we do have some. If we don't have enough, Beth can get some more, I'm sure.
No, we just got an order. We've got plenty.
Oh, you got plenty?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure that as time goes on, Carolina will come out with other patterns using it because she is the master of creating more and more patterns.
And I would take actually the 2.5-inch and decide, okay, maybe I want 4 feet of a color and then do a color wave on each section. So that down the road,
it's just
I
ready.
had
It's just ready.
I had the color waves all ready to go.
I think that's awesome. For sure.
So if you guys missed the first demo we did earlier, because we did start early, you can go back and rewatch it. We did all about felting and a quick demo on felting.
Okay. You want to do the wonky ruler?
Yeah, let's do the wonky ruler.
Okay. Let me just.
So we have not actually cut this because we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We have so many new things in the shop. But this is a great one to use scraps also. And here's one that is not sewn yet. Do you want to show them piecing it?
So maybe talk about the wonky ruler thing you're doing, like on Mondays.
Okay, so Mondays, and I don't know. We haven't decided about dates. We might wait. We might do one kind of before Thanksgiving-ish, or one before the holidays get in full swing, because I know you guys get busy once holidays get going. But we'll probably do one just to kind of get everybody started and excited. And then we're going to do Mondays at 5:00. Just log into a Zoom and work on wonky projects.
Yes, for sure. So this is the wonky.
You might have to update and get internet at your house, Doris.
I may have to come down here.
Okay, you can come
and then
down.
I don't have to cook dinner.
Oh, there you go. You get out of cooking dinner and you get to come play.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I could find scraps everywhere and pull them out for you.
Yes. Yes.
So this is made with the wonky log cabin tool ruler by Creative Grids, which is a really great product because it has the non-slip underneath where it doesn't slip. But what you do is we did the instructions and Beth actually sewed this together. So she cut this out. And the cool thing about this is you can use a jelly roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're jelly roll friendly. So 2.5-inch strips. You can cut the strips yourselves, or you can use pre-cuts, whatever your heart desires. So you can use up your scraps, or you can use your brand new favorite fabrics.
Yeah, because it's 2.5-inch strips.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So she cut these out. So what she did was they give you the directions for specific dimensions.
Yes.
So she cut these out, and what she did was she sewed it together. So in the end, these are different colored fabrics, but in the end, this is what she got right here.
So for me, I did a Moda Grunge jelly roll with the black for my solid side. And then I'm going to do scrappy batiks, because you guys all have batiks in your stash you don't even know what to do with anymore. Back in the day, batiks, I'm just going to tell you, for those of you who haven't been quilting forever, when I first started quilting, batiks were substantially more expensive.
Oh, big time.
Big time. They were like the price of wool or something. Batiks were like gold if you could find them. Most quilt shops didn't even carry them when I first started quilting.
No.
You would drive, like, I lived in the Bay Area, and you would drive like across the bay to shops that carried them.
Wow.
Yeah, now they're everywhere. They're a dime a dozen. You've got them in your stash because you hoarded them 30 years ago. So get them out and let's use them. They're beautiful. That's my little rant on that.
From here, we had to drive to Oregon.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
It's so use your fabric.
Yeah,
she's trying to say.
I'm trying to say, use your fabric. We all have it.
Okay, so the interesting thing about this is you have the center square, right? You're always going to have the center square, and you're going to put your two solids, whether they're dark or light, right this side up. And then what you're going to do is all of this ruler. So it's listed round 1B, round 1A, round 2A. Round centers right there, and then round 2B. And they tell you, so you would start with round 1A, and you would line it up with your center square right here. And do we want to cut it, or do you not want to cut it?
I say let's cut it for the demo.
Yeah.
And then I'll be ready. Unlike the shop pop, I'll be ready to go to the next step instead of using the same piece of fabric over and over, so nothing actually got sewed. Like I was so excited that at the end of the shop hop, 3 days of like 3 people sewing for demos, I was gonna have so many projects like done, but nobody actually did anything.
Hey, we tried.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Okay.
I was just Vanna White.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you're gonna see there. See how it's wonky? It's already starting to look pretty wonky.
So I'm just gonna say it's a very forgiving technique. You do not have to match your points. You do not have to match, even though we have the new precision pen, so you can make perfect points. You don't have to stress out about it.
Right. So then you rotate it 180 degrees. Okay. So you still have your square, and then you would go to round 1B, which is right over here.
So Lucretia, do you have what's your question about scrap tape? And we'll get that answered for you. I like that. Round 1B.
I know.
And if you know me at all, you know I love wonky. I love not having to be precise, because being precise sometimes is overwhelming.
It's overrated.
Hey, Mary, how are you?
Good.
Did you come to watch the demos in live person?
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna get my quilt unless you're going to continue to display it.
Okay, perfect.
So we have your first part of your wonky square. So what you would do now is you would take your second set of fabrics, which Beth did not cut out, which is fine, and you would sew them.
Yes, I did, but I didn't.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
On the next round, we're going to demo the next one.
Okay. And you would sew them on, and then you would use, after you sewed them on, you would go to your round 2, and you would use that square it again, square it up, and then cut again. And by the end, you're going to have this really fun wonky square. So does anybody have any questions?
No questions on the
questions?
wonky square yet, but
Okay.
I do have a question
Give
on.
them the number of the ruler.
All that
Oh, and show them the patterns. And then as soon as we show you the different patterns, and like anything, once they have a tool like this, they'll keep coming up with new patterns. And it is the same block, but it's different layouts. So you would want different patterns I thought, why do you need a different pattern? Because, I'm kind of cheap like that. I'm just going to buy one pattern and I'm going to do all these fun designs. But if you don't want to do the thinking of it and you want a pattern, because patterns make your lives easier, spend the $3.99.
Right. Well, we kind of decided they show you where to put the colors too.
Yeah.
To make it look right. That's kind of what the patterns do. It's kind of the same block, right?
Right.
But it's just color layout.
Right.
And also the rest of the layout of the quilt or whatever project you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Wonky Waves Table Runner. It's really cute. It's red, white, and blue. Super cute.
But you could do Christmas colors. You could do
Mhm.
Halloween colors. You could do Easter colors.
You could do.
You could have one for every season.
Mhm.
I think you could do Thanksgiving and Christmas front and back. And that way you don't have to put your table runner away and then bring it back out.
No, absolutely.
I'm just saying.
You
I
could
love Christmas and
You
Thanksgiving.
can do the same with Valentine's and St. Patrick's
Yes.
Day.
Yes. The ones that just roll into the next holiday.
Right.
4th
Right.
of July and
Um,
Halloween.
Easter and Mother's Day.
They have Going My Way, which is really cute. It looks very modern to me. This is a very modern pattern,
Yes.
but it's really, really.
But I love it being scrappy. I have an affinity. I love scrappy quilts. I'm not so much for everything matchy.
So they have Going My Way, and then Baubles and Balloons. I super like that one. Can you see it pretty clear on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. That's not shiny, so it's probably.
Well, hold it
easier.
up a little bit closer so I can really see.
There we go.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Is that good?
That's good.
I don't know if I can- Okay. And then we have Sweet 16.
Don't worry. We'll tell you what scrappy tape is in just a minute when she's done with the wonky stuff.
This is the one I like. Garden Table Runner. I
Yeah.
think I may have to do this one because I like it.
Those leftover batiks would be perfect in that one.
Yeah.
But they also have this tote bag that's super cute too. That would be really easy. Think about how many you could probably make for people. Like, be really easy to make.
Christmas gifts.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could do those in Christmas colors, and you can make gift bags.
So we're going to be
So-
promoting that for the next 3 months. All you're going to hear us saying is this year, I think we need to focus on handmade from the heart.
That's true.
Because
Use the fabric you have at home.
Right.
Mhm.
And nobody needs, you can always add more to it if you find something you love. But we all have stuff at home because we loved it and we didn't use it. So I say let's use it and start the new year fresh.
And then this is the ruler right here. I'm gonna lay it down. You'll see my little ring light. Just ignore that. That's just so things are bright for you guys. And it's S140. It's $32.99. But you're gonna get so much use out of this. Like, I hate rulers that you won't use for only one project. Like,
Right.
you could do so many projects out of this. And then when we unwrapped it, the instructions are under this black thing, so it also gives you instructions there.
To make the basic
And
log.
also, if you see this little QR code down here, it takes you straight to a demo too, to how to do it. All you do is use your phone, and then it'll have a link on your phone with your camera, and then you go right to that link, and it'll take you right to the link of the demo. By Creative Grids. So that's always helpful.
Yes.
And
for
it's
sure.
a 10-inch square, so you still can
Yeah.
square up
Yeah,
regular blocks.
Yeah, it's Creative
Yes,
Grid-
for sure. You
well,
could
Creative
square up
Grids-
your regular blocks.
Creative Grids are really quality rulers. They really are. Like you
They
can
are.
see on the bottom, they have this non-slip stuff, so it's not going to slip around too. So this is a super. I'm not a big ruler person, but I would think this is a great ruler. Like, I like rulers that are multi-purpose. Like I like the ruler I showed you in the beginning, which has 3 different squares.
Yes.
I don't like one ruler where you can just use it for one thing and it just doesn't get used. You know what I mean? I think this is a great ruler. All right. So what was the scrappy tape question?
Okay. What is scrappy tape?
Oh, again?
Yes, we have somebody new who is just logging in and tuning into us.
Okay. So you want to do the whole demo here?
No, just tell her what it is.
Okay.
And then, you can always go back. So like I tell my kids, this is social media. You can always go back and rewatch this live as many times as you want. You could even watch it at night. It'll put you to sleep, I'm sure. But you can rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. And if you ever have any questions, you can say, hey, can you demo that 60-degree ruler that you showed us the 17,000 times again? And we'll redo the demo.
Yeah. We've started keeping demos that are half done, so just in a box, so we can redo it over and over again.
Yes.
Okay,
It's partly because we can never finish anything.
Well, that's true. So scrappy tape is this roll of stabilizer. Is that the best way to
I think
probably say-
yeah.
like wash away stabilizer,
Yes.
sort of. And what you do is you put your fabric, your scraps down, and all you do is you would put your scrap down here, and you can see I did mine in different directions, but you can make them go up and down, vertical. But you just put it down. You would sew your 1/4 inch like you normally do, and then you would flip it over, and you would either finger press or use this really great tool, and it is a really great tool to press it down straight. You can't use an iron because it will melt the tape, the stabilizer.
Yes.
So that's one reason I would tell you use an iron, but don't do it because you'll be sad if you do.
You know all those cuts off the wonky ruler?
Yeah.
They'd be great to start sewing on that.
Oh yeah, that's true too. I have more scraps now. So anyways, and then what you do is when you go like 12 inches or whatever, and then you just flip it over and use your rotary color and you just trim or use your scissors, and then you have a perfect 2.5 inch strip that you can use as a border, as a binding, like whatever you want. But it comes in different sizes. It comes in 2.5 inch, 5 inch, and 13 inch.
So
Right.
Lynn Jenkins did get the binding finished.
Oh, she said, oh, really? I'm proud of you, Lynn. Although Lynn gets everything finished. She does not have very many UFOs. For those of you who aren't familiar with quilting terminology, that means unfinished project. Somehow we're dyslexic and have weird letters. I made a, it didn't take her that long. So sewing all those on for her 200 inches of binding was not too long.
I think it would go pretty fast.
Yeah.
If I would have had time, I was talking to people, I probably would have got quite a bit done.
Yes.
If I hadn't had to do that.
Yeah.
But also whoever wanted to know, but then you can even put it into patterns like this, like these were made for the scrappy tape. Each one of these, see the row is 2.5 inches and the heart's 2.5 inches. So that's scrappy tape. I hope that explained it pretty well, but.
Victor says something even more wonky than me. Carolyn, that's true. The wonky ruler will replace the 60-degree ruler for a number of times. You'll have to demo it. It's true. It's true. But we are going to have a wonky club because that just seems that it fits us. So we'll be doing the wonky club on Mondays throughout, not every Monday. So don't get your hopes up that we're going to give up every single Monday of our lives, but we're going to do Mondays at 5 o'clock. So we'll roll right from the Monday demos that we do every week right into the wonky club. Cause we want to get time set aside for you guys. So you actually sew and get projects done. Okay. Any other questions about the scrappy tape or the wonky ruler? And we will be back at probably 12:30. We're going to go live again with where we are on the wonky ruler, like the next round. And you could show the hexagon.
Yeah,
okay,
we'll show one more
because the hexagon you guys saw last Monday. Victor demoed his hexagon pot holder, but you could also do coasters. This one comes in several. How many different sizes does it come in? This
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So 5 different sizes. So like the tiniest size hexagon would be great to make like a little keychain fob. And the hexagon was so much fun. You saw how Victor just folded them over right sides together, lined them up. You have to go back and rewatch the demo from Monday so you know what order to line them up so you can turn it inside out and have a finished product like in 5 seconds.
There we go. I think you can see that better. Yeah. So it's a creative grids ruler, so it has the non-stick stuff on it too. I think it would be perfect. It says use markings to cut 2 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, or 8 inch finished hexagons.
Perfect. Lucretia, we are super huge fans of Eleanor Peace Bailey. Actually, anything Eleanor Peace Bailey still comes from our shop. We have everything. I actually went to work for Eleanor Peace Bailey when I was 15. So, and we became partners in her business, I don't know, like 15 or 20 years ago. So yes, Eleanor is still a huge part of our everyday life.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, wait, can you tell them what this easy press pin is?
Yes. So we haven't done it. Maybe we should later do a demo on it.
Yes.
But this is the stuff that I'm excited about. Easy press pen. So Beth, I think you should explain it because you learned about it more.
I didn't really learn about it, but I know that my piecing wasn't exactly perfect. And so Peggy brought out her easy press pen, got my seams wet or something, and push them into place. Like it just makes your piecing super easy. Lynn was supposed to be here today, so I was going to have Lynn demo it, even though she didn't know it. But so Lynn, if you have anything to add to the precision pin, let us know. I know a lot of the people from the retreat groups up in Tahoe, they come down to shop and they like are always excited we have that package.
Well, I'm going to use it for English paper piecing because I don't want to. I'm sick of using glue. So I'm excited to try this. So hopefully this will work.
It's also good for triangles.
Oh my gosh, Mary Beatty. Mary Beatty wants to know, how does one catch up? I'm just saying, Mary Beatty, we move really fast. It's hard to keep up with us. We can't even keep up with us. We're going to be doing lives all day today, periodically. So set the alarm on your Facebook. There's a little button there. You can set an alarm and then you'll know when we're going to go live. Our next one is going to be, this one went kind of long. So our next one's going to be probably like 12:30ish. What do you think? 12:30 gives us enough time to get the next round of demos.
Yeah.
We've got flip and stitch for a wine bag carrier, pet dogs, casserole carriers. Casserole carriers are apparently the most popular thing right now. I didn't know.
And as Victor said, they're dessert carriers too.
Exactly.
I
I like
like
dessert.
carrier.
I know, because who, like when I think of
It's a brownie
casserole,
bundle.
when I think of casserole carrier, I think of like funeral potatoes and like I just don't know like why anybody who's taking casseroles to parties these days. I don't know.
If you did,
Yeah, a lot
I
of
guess.
potluck.
we did have a demo earlier today. So between then you can go back and watch it. It's a felting demo that was at 10. I can't remember what time we did it.
It was probably 10:30.
But it should be right below this one once we post it. So you can go back and watch that one if you want to. So you can just have like Beth and Christy all day.
Yes. So go get
Doris.
get your tools, whatever the different things that you bought from us recently, and get them out, play with them, practice with them, see what's going on. And then on our next live at 12:30, you can ask us any questions that you have. Okay. I think that's it for now. All right. See you guys at 12:30. Oh, Peggy says that hexagon ruler is perfect for the hexy table topper. So we'll show that at 12:30 also. I have a friend watched the replay and he made one. His wife was surprised. Oh, good, Victor. The pin is great for flying geese. Peggy, why don't we bring you on at the 12:30 and you can show us the hexagons and the flying geese with the pin. Text me and let me know if that's okay. So we might have Peggy do a demo. I love spur of the moment things, so people really have time to get ready and do it real professionally. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.